response organizations because they provide such a vital initiative to the community. And Duke Energy is very much a partner with so many of these emergency response organizations. And so this year, several months ago, we announced our HERO Grant opportunity. The Duke Energy Foundation has committed $500,000 to emergency response organizations across the state. And I'm pleased to announce that for the 5th year in a row, the City of Florence has received one of those HERO grants, and it will go to the fire department. So this year, they will receive $15,000 to help with some battery-operated equipment and some air monitoring equipment. So congratulations.
Mindy, for a minute there, I thought you were going to say a new fire truck.
There's not enough zeros on here.
Did you all want to get in this? Let's stand. Come behind. Y'all fine.
Oh, I think we're okay.
Oh, we got to say yes.
That wasn't a question.
We got to wait for Zach to get in.
Don't go too close. Oh, great. Next, we will have our public hearing. The public hearing will be held to receive input of the City of Florence fiscal year budget 2026-27. And we have that signed up, Ms. Suzanne La Rochelle, that will come forth now. Oh, I'm sorry, Suzanne, let me vote to open it, right? So what say ye?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposes? The ayes have it. Now we are open for public discussion.
Good afternoon. My name is Suzanne La Rochelle. I'm a resident of the City of Florence. Mayor and members of council, I am asking council to do 2 things today. First, prioritize the needs of Florence's most disenfranchised residents in this budget. And second, commit to adopting a formal budget equity analysis tool before the next fiscal year. I'm asking this because the public cannot tell from the budget whether Florence is truly investing according to need. The proposed budget is nearly $150 million. The general fund is about $56 million. But the community program line, the part of the budget that most directly touches transportation, youth services, seniors, homelessness, foster families, emergency assistance, and low-income residents, is only $477,000. That is about 0.3% of 1% of the total budget. The city received $907,000 in community program requests. That means there is roughly $429 in unmet documented community need. Half of what was requested was denied. In a nearly $158 million budget, that gap is less than 1/3 of 1%. So I'm asking plainly, if we cannot find less than 1/3 of 1% for the residents with the greatest need, what does that say about our priorities? I understand not every dollar in the budget is discretionary. I understand water, sewer, stormwater, debt services, employee pay, and essential operations matter. But I also understand this: the people most affected by underfunded community programs have the fewest alternatives. A family with resources can absorb higher fees. A disabled resident, a renter, a foster family, or a worker living paycheck to paycheck may not have that cushion. That is why this is an equity issue. The city's own budget materials recognize inflation and rising costs. Nonprofits face the same pressures. Fuel costs more, food costs more, etc. So a small increase in community funding does not necessarily mean more services. It may mean actually fewer rides, fewer meals, fewer children served, fewer families helped, and more people turned away. I also want to address the suggestion that each council member could receive an allotted amount for community needs. This idea may have value, but equal does not mean equitable. Equal means every elected official gets the same amount. Equity means resources are distributed according to documented need. Some districts have more poverty, more seniors, more transportation needs. If we treat unequal conditions as though they are the same, we are not practicing equity, we are practicing convenience. The question should not be, did every council member get the same amount? The question should be, did the residents with the greatest need receive the strongest support? So my request is specific. Before the next fiscal year, adopt a budget equity analysis tool. Require every major budget decision to answer who benefits, who is burdened, which districts and neighborhoods are affected, what need is documented, what services are unfunded, what outcomes will be measured. Other cities the size of Florence do this. They have adopted the equity analysis. Florence can do the same. Greenville does one. I don't want to misspeak, but there are others also out of state. I am not grandstanding here. This is for the city to show its work. I looked at the budget. I tried to understand it to the best of my ability, but I could not determine in the projects that are funded what districts are impacted and what districts are neglected. With an equity analysis, we could all see the same thing and understand more clearly. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Glenn is here. So Glenn, are you about to make a presentation?
You bringing the public hearing to a close?
Yes. Council, thank you. Council, we will now bring this public hearing to a close.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
This is the 2027.
Glenn, let's vote. Do we vote to bring Glenn in?
It's the first
We-
ordinance.
It's the first ordinance that's online, and I didn't do that so let me do that first. Bill number 2026-18, it's the second reading.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's an ordinance to amend the budget of the City of Florence, South Carolina for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2025 and ending in June 30, 2026. What say ye?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I'm sorry, point of information. He's speaking on the public hearing, or are you speaking on the amendment?
He's on ordinance.
Yeah, he's on the public hearing.
You're on the hearing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's,
so let's backtrack. I thought you were on the budget part. Okay, so Glenn, you have the floor. Thank you for that, Councilman McCall.
this is just the 2026-27 annual budget, proposed annual budget. We always start off discussing property tax rate and the rate limits. South Carolina Revenue and Fiscal Affairs Office every year and the CPI was 2.63%. That, with our allowable carryback millage, gives us an allowable millage increase of 3.4 mils for the current year. However, we are not proposing a millage increase for operating millage for the 26-27 budget year. Debt service millage, it is not subject to limitation. That will also maintain at 4 mils for the general obligation debt service. Also included in the 26-27 budget is a proposed rate adjustment for our stormwater utility enterprise fund. This will be the first increase that we've had since 2021. This increase is going to be 75 cents per equivalent residential unit, and it equates to about $9 a year per household. The stormwater utility enterprise fund is a self-sustaining fund. This rate increase was required to keep the fund operating. This helps with the drainage maintenance and repairs, flood mitigation projects, regulatory projects, and addresses citywide flooding challenges. With that, we'll get on with the proposed 26-27 by budget fund. The general fund is $56,189,480. The general fund debt service fund is $694,000. Hospitality fund, $6,867,400. Water and sewer utilities enterprise fund, $60,988,000. Stormwater utility enterprise fund, $2,128,260. Water and sewer utilities construction fund, $28,431,900. Stormwater utility construction fund, $658,790. Water and sewer utilities equipment replacement fund, $1,820,000. Stormwater equipment replacement fund, $217,580. That's a total of all funds, $157,995,410. That is the proposed budget for 26-27.
Thank you. Mayor,
Yes.
can we call Scotty up there to kind of answer her questions about the community service and the amounts?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. Questions asked is to respond to the request that was recently given. Just as information, the general fund is $56,189,480. Those general fund dollars are used to fund fire, police, sanitation, public works, and our parks department, as well as admin offices there. About 60 to 70% of those dollars are used for salaries for staff, as well as benefits for staff there. Funding that is specifically designated, as mentioned, for those in need, $477,500 was set aside for community program. Building Florence Together is a nonprofit that the city recently created about 3 years ago. $400,000 is set aside for that. CDBG, we are a community development block grant community, $352,512. And our community service department, that's specifically to help those in the neighborhoods that need some assistance there through housing, trash pickup, demolition of properties, all of those things. Their rehabilitation of properties. That's about $800,000 set aside there. So those are some of the direct dollars. Again, just briefly running through the budget in the 2 minutes I had to look that up.
So those things that you are talking about directly affect the community and aid the community. Could you just give the amounts, not the amounts again of what we are spending in the community?
The amounts, again, $477,500 in community programming, $400,000 in Building Florence Together, $352,512 in community development block grants, and about $800,000 in the community services budget.
Great.
Scotty, on the community development and that, the funding that we did, Is there any way to make it, and if we need to make a motion, I can do so, but to make it public, the process on how we got to each, I guess each group that was funded, and how we got there, that whole process that took place. Is there a way to public that, just quite frankly, to be as transparent as possible?
Yes, well, I would say we have an adoption. This isn't the adoption, this is the public hearing. You certainly can make your request, but you should do that under second reading of the budget.
Perfect, thank you.
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Scotty, and I apologize, I was writing down some numbers. Did you refer to the fact that the enterprise fund, we are limited? We can only do those things in the general fund. Did you make reference to that?
I did not, but that is a good point. Yes, that's right. The general fund is of that $159 million budget, the general fund is $56,189, $189,480. The rest of that are enterprise fund dollars, and they are restricted.
Yeah, so we would not be able to fund any other projects or anything outside of the enterprise fund with that funding.
That is correct.
Councilman Neeson.
Is it possible for us to, at least look at a budget equity analysis too, to ensure that we are doing this for our communities and we are putting the appropriate amounts? Because it looked like we are, but just to make sure.
Yes, we could work through that.
And do we know the cost of that analysis? Sometimes the juice isn't worth the squeeze, if it costs. Seems like anytime we have an analysis or we do anything, it'd be $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. And if you could just get us the cost of that for later, just to make sure, because those funds would come directly out of what we could.
Certainly.
What we could.
Yes, I would agree with that. Yes, sir. We certainly can do that. And it is always our mission and intent to provide services to those in need there. If we have an issue, we fix that issue there, regardless of the side of town it's on. Certainly there are some areas that need more. For instance, CDBG dollars, that $352,000, that money is designed to enhance what we're already doing, not to replace it. So if we're building or doing a road project in the CDBG area, and those areas are generally north, south, North Florence, East Florence, and West Florence. If we're doing a road project there, we don't necessarily use CDBG dollars to do that. We enhance that. We might use those dollars to add a sidewalk or do something that we wouldn't do there. So those dollars are an enhancement there. So we do look at the need of those areas, but we do have to, our first mission is fire, police, sanitation, parks, those things, those core services. We have to fund those core services primarily first.
And am I correct, Scotty, in the last 10 years that CDBG has decreased probably 100%? How much has that decreased to the best of your knowledge in the last 10 years?
It has decreased substantially, probably hadn't been 100% yet, but early on, 25, 30 years ago, we were nearing $1 million with a much smaller population. Now we're at $350,000, a much larger population and much greater need. And we would talk a little bit about it later, but the mayor and I and Mr. Hemingway went to DC and we talked about that, and each year they're looking to cut CDBG completely. So we've been hearing that for several years, but when we hear it from legislative staff there, it's pretty serious.
Thank you. I would say that in the last 6 years, I am proud to sit with these council members who are very, very much in tune with the community. And if you look at our records, it would show that the monies that we give has increased tremendously. We are doing record movement in the communities. All you have to do is drive through the communities and you see newness everywhere. And so I would say, we want to do more. We want to do more, but we're limited. But this council is pretty much community driven. So thank you all for all of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Madam Mayor, I know you asked earlier about pushing up some resolution. Can we push up the resolution for the home ownership month?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's been approved. We're gonna move fast, though.
Okay.
We'll move fast. We'll move
Yeah.
fast. Once we get through the second readings, we're gonna move quick.
Okay.
Okay, now we will go to Bill number 2026-18, second reading, the ordinance to amend the budget for the city of Florence fiscal year beginning July 1, 2025, and ending in June 30th, 2026. What say ye?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. We move to Bill number 2026-19. This is a second reading. An ordinance to raise revenue and adopt a budget for the city of Florence, South Carolina for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026 and ending June 30th, 2027. What say ye?
Can I make a motion to amend it and just again add, for the sake of transparency, to add the, how we budgeted those community funding and the community grants?
Councilman Jumeirah, ready?
With all due
Second.
respect, Councilman McKay, I would suggest that that is a good idea, but I don't know that doing it now in the middle of the budget to hold adoption of the budget back until that process has been completed, because we are at the fiscal year ending and this is the transition. So looking forward to next year or next month, if you want to try to do it, maybe we can have a meeting with city manager to try to work that out after today. It just does not seem like the timing is such that this is a good time.
Well,
And I think we could still pass the budget, and again, just have that as part of it.
oh, yes.
Madam Mayor,
The
members of
lawyer.
council, if I just might state, the process for the budget being adopted is that you come together as a body and discuss those points that make up your allocations. I don't think it would be procedurally easy even to identify just for this specific set of line items or expenditures a process beyond the deliberative process that you've already gone through openly here. So I wouldn't suggest that as a part of the budget ordinance, but more so if there's something that, you know, a particular council member wishes to explain, or if as part of the budget workshop going forward, you want to talk about those decision-making points. Procedurally, I think that'd be very difficult to incorporate a breakdown in such a way for
Councilman
one separate
McKay.
line item.
So I guess what I'm referring to would be just even the spreadsheet that we went through, the grading process.
Councilman Braddock.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm in agreement, just for transparency, when we do the budget, it's not executive session, it is open, to the public. I know the media's there. If anything, just the way we went about it this time, we had specific amounts that we allocated, and if we could just release the allocations, and the councilmen that made the allocations,
I think
especially
he has-
given, you know, what, Ms. Rochelle, Suzanne De La Rochelle, you know, brought up. I think it's, transparency is just, key, and I think that's all that, Councilman, McKay is asking, not necessarily the whole process, going the whole conversation, discussion, but, you know, just the end result, because that would be the same that we would do in the normal budget process anyway. I don't see it holding up, you know, the passing of this budget, but it has been seconded, so if anything, I would say it just require a vote, and is that?
So right now, we've gotten legal advice, and it looks like we can have both of those things. It can be released, and we can pass the budget. So if we could pass the budget and release it, but not lump them together, would that work? We would still be releasing it.
Certainly.
Okay, so how can we separate those two things?
Well, the budget as itself for second reading is a standalone matter to be
Because we've
addressed.
already have a second reading on it.
Correct. The other point that somewhat was referred to is that there was an executive session discussion that related to some contractual matters and requirements that would impact outside funded agencies. And there, just as any part of your budget process, as council members may have feedback or suggestions for funding of various line items, that took place as a part of that process. So that was just my suggestion. That it would be difficult to establish that standard of council member individual feedback for this one line item.
So we're okay with passing the budget?
Correct.
Because
Yes,
one,
ma'am.
we're on second reading. If we change it, we go back to the first reading. So if we go on and pass this, but make a motion that we show transparency, so where would we do that? Can we approve this? And do we add something to it, or just approve it as
think you
is because it
approve it
is
as
the
a
second?
standalone.
Because we would have to change the motion
Correct.
if we change it, because this is the second reading.
So I got a question. Well, not a question, and I guess a question for the city manager, Glenn, because I thought about it as we've been discussing this, and we talked about, and it was talked about in public, in the public hearing. But Scotty, correct me if I'm wrong, in the last, I know since I've been on council 4 years, in community programming, I think we've raised it every year. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, you have.
And we talked about raising it again in this budget as well, didn't we?
Yes, you did. Yes, sir.
Okay, I was just making sure. Like, I couldn't remember our discussion. I just want to make sure I was right.
So my question is, can we
Procedurally.
get approval on second reading with someone coming behind and making a motion after this, and it's not on the agenda? How will we do that?
I think it would be more appropriate to address that as an item for the next meeting, because it is not on the agenda, but it won't impact your approval of the budget. I think if council desires to have some level of transparency further than the budget itself, you can ask staff to bring back some level of a report on the process for building the community outside agency funding budget process, if you want to address that separately.
Okay?
Can't we, it seems as if during reports to council that we, or the city manager's report, or the mayor's report, that we have an opportunity to introduce an ordinance at that point that's not on the agenda. Is that a possible time to do that? Because I think, you know, if I'm Suzanne De La Rochelle, if I'm members of the audience, you know, it would appear that we're seeking transparency, but then, you know, disguising that underneath, not disguising it, appearances, you know, and perceptions are everything. So I would like to know if there's anywhere within our current agenda where we could do that. And like I said, we're just talking about the scoring and then the amounts that were approved by each of the council members. Is there a place to do that? Because I think to put off and to do these kind of things is it's going to go against what we're trying to do is be transparent, but it's going to be perceived that we're not.
So,
Is there a way we can just ask Scotty to release that and keep on going?
so let's approve this, and then if we need to discuss any more, we discuss in executive of exactly how we're gonna move forward, because I think everybody is okay with transparency. But the question is, how do we move forward?
Correct.
So let's go in, let's approve this, and then get how we will move forward to make sure we're transparent. Is that okay?
So move.
Okay. Okay, so all in favor signify by,
You have a motion to amend on the floor, you would have to withdraw his motion.
Okay, yeah, I'll withdraw my motion.
okay, great. So, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Next, we have bill number 20,
We needed a first and a second.
we did,
We had the motion to amend that was withdrawn, but we needed a first and a second.
great.
Second it.
Who firsted?
Motion to approve.
Second, all right. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Bill number 2026-19. That's what we just did. Now we are on bill number 2026-20, second reading, the ordinance to rezone the property located on Stokes Road, CG to RG-3, identified as Florence County Tax Map number 00121-01-065. What
So
say you?
move.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Bill number 2026-21 is the second reading. An ordinance to annex and zone PD at the 0.13 acre lot adjacent to 1057 Grove Boulevard, identified as Florence County Tax Map Number 07515-01-301.
So move. Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The bill number, next we have Bill number 2026-22. This is a second reading ordinance to declare as surplus and authorize the conveyance of real estate known as tax parcel 00121-01-029 for the Florence Section National Council of Negro Women, described more fully in Exhibit A attached hereto. What say you?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Next, we have Bill number 2026-23. It's the second reading. It's an ordinance to declare as surplus the authorized the conveyance of the real estate known as tax parcel 90066-06-008 to John and Candace Greenan, described more fully in Exhibit A attached hereto. What say ye?
So moved.
I got a second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Next, we have Bill number 2026-24. It's the second reading.
I second it, I'm sorry.
I didn't say all in favor.
No, we good.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Bill number 2026-24 is the second reading, a series ordinance authorizing water and sewer system revenue borrowing and approval of state revolving fund loan for infrastructure improvements and other matters related thereto.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Next, we have introductions of ordinance. This matter will be discussed into executive session. It's an ordinance authorizing the execution of an amendment to extend the lease agreement between the City of Florence and PD Healthy Start. That will be moved into executive session. Next, we have Bill number 2026-25. It's a first reading. It's an ordinance to rezone the parcel located on 901 Rose Street from NC 6.1 to NC 6.2, identified as Florence County Tax Map Number 90114-13-004. What say ye?
So move.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Did we get a second? Did we get a second?
Second.
Okay.
Yeah, Jerry's got to speak.
And Jerry has a presentation.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. This property is located along, on the corner of Maxwell and Rose Street, in the proximity of Iola Jones Park. And the proposal is to rezone it from NC 6.1, which is small lot, single-family detached, to NC 6.2, which also allows single-family detached as well as attached housing such as duplexes. The zoning in the vicinity includes NC 6.2. As you can see, the entire block across the street on both sides of Maxwell there is zoned NC 6.2, but interior to this block is zoned NC 6.1. But it is, if the road were not there, it is contiguous with the NC 6.2 zoning.
Yes.
Jerry, looking at one of the images, I don't know if you want to go to another one. Yes, that one. If you look at that image, that's Iola Jones across Maxwell Street from that, correct?
That's correct.
And Oakland Avenue would be to the far left
That's correct.
of that. And as I recall, there's a old convenience store that's on the corner there between the lot that's marked in red and Oakland Avenue, is that correct?
That's correct.
And I know the city was involved in, one time with negotiations with the property owner to try to see about getting them to, I think there was comments that they were gonna tear it down and build a new, commercial structure there that was gonna be, bigger, better, newer, and, so that's a commercial property adjacent to it.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And what about across Rose Street? What are those properties?
They're primarily single-family homes there.
Are all of those in the city?
Yes, all of that is in the city. Yeah, this is the zoning map, and everything that's showing zoning there is inside the city limits.
Okay, so on one side of it is a park, and another side is a commercial, and another side is single family, and this would allow for multifamily?
Well, it's still single-family, but it's single-family attached.
Single-family
Yeah,
attached.
a duplex would be the highest density structure that
Okay.
could go there.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Councilman Smith?
What was the recommendation of planning or any discussion during the planning meeting?
Yeah, sure. Planning Commission did vote unanimously to recommend it. There was some discussion about the properties. A number of questions came up. And I will say that the owner and proposed developer of the property came and gave a presentation as well. He is a member of the community. He grew up there, and he gave a great testimony, to be honest with you, about wanting to build a duplex there. He's venturing into his first venture here, and so he's a bit invested as well. Obviously, we don't have any control over that from the planning other than what's in our zoning ordinance, but he did give very good information to us.
So you answered my next question. He actually gave his future plans for the rezoning and not just giving us.
Yeah, he
open
wants to do a duplex there. And it'll very likely be a rental property, which we need in the city as well.
And
We
so
need rental.
going back, and this is my last question, when we did our housing study, I believe in that study, it said that we were in need of actually having some single-family attached housing. Am I saying that?
Very much so, we are, yes. This is, our housing study as well as our comprehensive plan would support this.
Okay. In this neighborhood?
In this neighborhood, yes. In all neighborhoods, yes.
Councilwoman Nee Smith?
I know I had a couple of calls. Did he, have any plans, or did he provide any plans of what the duplex would look like?
No, not at this time. That's not required at this time, but no, we've not seen that.
Okay.
But it would have to meet our design guidelines. We do have some good guidelines in place.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Next, we have introduction. Now we got the vote. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Next, we have introduction of resolution. Resolution number 2026-31. This is a resolution to proclaim the month of June as Home Ownership Month in the city of Florence. What say ye?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor? No? Jerry's waiting to read.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I'll go ahead and read the resolution real quick. A resolution to proclaim the month of June as Home Ownership Month in the city of Florence. Whereas owning a home is at the heart of the American dream and is a source of wealth which individuals can pass down to their children and grandchildren. And whereas National Homeownership Month provides an opportunity for all Americans to work together to provide families with the tools and information they need to overcome barriers to home ownership. And whereas home ownership unites families, empowers communities, and strengthens both local and national economies. And whereas home ownership encourages personal responsibility and strong values while creating more stable neighborhoods, civic-minded residents, better schools, and less crime. And whereas the United States recognizes the month of June as National Home Ownership Month to highlight the enduring value of home ownership and to recommit ourselves to helping more Americans realize the dream. Now, therefore be it resolved, the City Council of the City of Florence and the State of South Carolina do hereby proclaim the month of June as Home Ownership Month in the City of Florence and urge all citizens to join in the effort to reaffirm our individual commitment to support the dream of home ownership. Resolved this 8th day of June, 2026. And we do have Ms. Vonda Sellers Ford, who's with the PD Realtors Association, to accept this resolution.
Ms. Fonda? And Ms. Vonda is also the daughter of Mr. Sellers, who was also a council member, and he's passed, how long ago,
Last
Vonda?
month. Last month.
Couple of months? April 7th, yes. And this is sponsored, oh. Bit too far over? You're good. You'll be fine.
Hello, everyone. To the dais, I would like to say thank you on behalf of the PD Realtor Association. It is certainly our goal to provide the avenue for anyone in the city of Florence and really the PD area, the opportunity to purchase a home. This year I serve as president, and we are grateful for your acknowledgement. Thank you.
All right, next we are making record time. We are reports to council, appointments to boards, and I think that will be an executive session. A utility update is next.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor and City Council. Our monthly report. This month, we're going to start out with Amanda Pope, our Marketing, Communication, and Municipal Services Director, and she's going to give us an update from the communication aspect of how we are communicating to the general public about what's going on in utilities. So we'll yield to Ms. Pope, and then we'll come back.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So you may have seen on the press release that went out this past week that we did complete our new branding for the utility. It's called RISE, Resilient Infrastructure and System Enhancements, with our guiding principles being that we're investing today, building tomorrow, and serving our community. And you can see the breakdown for each letter that makes up that acronym. Not only did we, as a staff, and we've had a lot of help getting everything ready to release this, but you know, the deeper meaning behind the acronym is that RISE represents our commitment to moving beyond past challenges and earning trust through action. It's a commitment to accountability, progress, and continuous improvement as we work to deliver the level of service our customers expect and deserve. So we really tried to find something that was all-encompassing, that fit the mission that we wanted to deliver. To break down the color scheme, if you look in the circle where the water drop is, the colors were chosen. Blue represents water and marking, so your markings in the right-of-ways that you see. Blue represents water, light green represents sewer, and dark green represents stormwater. So we've really worked hard at developing a consistency across the board so that when people see those colors, they'll identify the projects. So you're going to see that, these are the slick sheets that you've heard us talk about and we've given before, and you have in front of you at your desk. It's the Water City Council update for June. And we have those, you'll see the water is divided, has the blue, defines some current projects that are happening. We've worked for consistency so that the same information that's here, the titles of the projects are the same that are on the portals, so that things are consistent. I'll give you an example of that. Michael tends to talk, y'all know this, in funding dollars. So, you know, he may think of a project as WIFIA funding, or whereas we know the general public that, you know, they're glad we have the funding, but they're not really concerned about the details of that. So we've tried to make it so that when people look at it, they see what's happening in their neighborhoods. They know where the projects are happening, where the money's going. The flip side of each select sheet has a little update, status when it will be completed, and same for sewer. And any questions about projects, I'm going to defer to Michael. So, and then our stormwater.
We have a question.
Sure.
I can't begin to tell you how excited I am to see this. And I know how hard, Amanda, you and your crew have been working. We have been talking about, we need to see pictures. We need to see very simplified for us because, you know, we're up here in council, but still it's like, Swift, what is that? I mean, so we're just like the general public when it comes to most all of that. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. These are going to be very helpful going forward, not only for us now, but as we, you know, these will change from quarter to quarter as we go forward, and that'll be so great for us to be able to then in turn share with friends, with our, you know, social media, et cetera, to help get the word out. And I love Rise. I absolutely love it. I love it. That is terrific. Hats off to y'all. I know you've been deeply involved in this whole process with trying to get the word out for a year now and putting this whole process together. You know, you've come and presented for the Business Development Committee on that, and this is the result of it. It's tremendous. And I'm also going to say to our city manager, Scotty, thank you for the support you give to Amanda, turning her loose on all this. And Michael, I know you feed the details over to her. So
It has been a team effort. I mean, Josh, Clint, Michael, Casey, I'll show you her handiwork in a little bit where
Oh, boy.
she has worked heavily on the portals. So it has really been a team effort getting this information together.
This is also the same thing when it comes to the budget. What an incredible team we have here at the City of Florence. I am just so proud of each and every staff member that has worked so hard. And can we just give everybody a round of applause? Thank y'all for so much you do. You have so many different demands on you and balancing everything out. And the work product that you put out is truly impressive. Thank you so much.
Councilman Braddock.
Ditto.
Councilwoman East.
This makes me happy because now people can actually see what we're working on and how we're fixing our water and not just think, oh, my water is brown. Now they actually get to see the stages that we're going through or how we're going to fix our problems. So thank y'all very, very much. If I can give y'all another hand, I would.
City manager.
And I'd like to thank all the council for your comments, but I do want to echo Pro Temp Jabali. Amanda's worked very hard on this. This is the third, fourth, fifth iteration of what we had, and I said, yeah, that looks good, Amanda. No, it doesn't. And I've learned to listen, and I think she worked with staff to come up with a great marketing on this. We didn't want to rush it. We were certainly hearing from council a lot, but we didn't want to rush it and wanted to make sure we had something that we certainly can be proud of, that we can get information out quickly, efficiently, that we've been tasked to do there. So hopefully we've done that with you, and we certainly have more to come.
Thank you.
So I will share just a little bit more
One more.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
So this is the new website. Lauren upstairs spent a lot of time on the website. The web page for utilities, she has completely reworked. It, of course, starts with RISE. We tried to make it, and this was a suggestion from AECOM, and they really helped us through this process, trying to make it more forward-facing, not how we see our departments, but how a customer would see it to make it more user-friendly. And I think we've done a good job with that. There's also from the home screen in that middle section where there's some buttons, there's now a RISE utilities, so you can go straight to the utilities information. So on the main utilities page, you're gonna find water, stormwater, sewer, but you also have your master plans that you approve. They're all there, and the utility portals. I'm gonna take just a second and show you the utility portals. If somebody wants to take a deeper dive, we've spent a lot of time making these so that they're valuable information for somebody who wants to look into it. It gives the background of the utility system back to our 1946 system versus now, distribution challenges, impact of extreme weather, next steps. The next steps is your master plans. So that's where, and it has links to all of those, or the water on each portal. This is the water. We have a portal for sewer and stormwater, but you can also see completed projects on a map. You can scroll down and read detailed information about each project. Oop, I don't want to mess up the map, sorry. And also current projects, the same. So the portals are actually very user-friendly. It's an interactive map. You're able to see where in the community the project is identified on a map, and it gives detailed information. So I think they'll be very valuable, especially to somebody who might want to take a deeper dive. I did want to also let you know other things that we're doing. Of course, we've done a couple of press releases. Social media, now that we have everything built out and can link back to this information, you'll start seeing more on social media. You'll see an educational campaign to share where our water comes from. You know, where does it go? To explain the wastewater, water reclamation process, our water sources, so that people can learn more about that information. I know in one of our discussions with the Community Development Committee, it came up that council said, you know, people don't understand why this takes so long. There's gonna be an educational campaign to share that the city process does take longer. We've got to do public procurement. These are major projects. They have to be designed, they have to be bid, so that there's a little bit better understanding that it just doesn't happen overnight. We will have a presence at the June 20th B-City Takeover event. The utility folks will be there. They'll have a table and we'll be talking to people one-on-one. We plan to get out in the community and do some of those type things so that we can talk to people you know, up close and personal and hear what they have to say, whether it's a water concern, and talk through that with them. So anyway, that's all I had, but thank you so much. I appreciate your support.
Real quick, yours be long, mine's quick. Please.
Yes.
Exactly how do they get to the link? Can you show like a demonstration here, kind of?
Sure.
I think it was already up when you started talking off of it. How do you get to it?
So,
From the main page.
from the main page, let me go back to,
Yeah, what's the?
I know, I saw you, okay, so this is our home page. So if you go down this the buttons here, if you see Rise Utilities, the last one on the right, and you just click it and it goes right there.
Okay.
We try to also, if you see on the home page, anything that's current, those site alerts at the top, you know, the press release I shared this morning on the closure of Coit, that's there. So any press release, those are going out there. The water conservation we put there, those are typically at the top in an alert bar to bring attention to them as well.
Thank you.
Two things. Number one, I think we have, that I saw as a press release about what's happening on Coit Street that's coming up. Do you want to make that announcement? The closure?
It's gonna start Monday?
It's,
right?
yeah, the
So
15th.
Monday, and it's the section of Coit Street between Cherokee and Timrod Park Drive that will be closed for approximately 3 weeks.
So that came out as a RISE press release, so I was
Yes.
really excited about that. And then I think there's a public meeting this evening. So somebody want to talk about that? That's related to that same thing?
Michael is gonna mention that as well.
Okay, just want to make sure that while we have everybody here, we can go ahead and make
Absolutely.
those,
Have a captive
both of those, that's right, captive audience, make both of those announcements. But congratulations, hats off to all y'all, thank you.
Thank you.
Together we rise.
So we appreciate Amanda for leading us in the communication aspect. As Scotty said, she's our layman's side of the city staff to help us see it from a layman's perspective, and we greatly appreciate that. Presently, right now we have 31 active projects across the board. We got 12 in water, 8 in sewer, 7 in stormwater, and then 4 that are utility that cross over. And that work is being assisted by city staff with AECOM, CDM Smith, and Ardua. So all 3 of those major engineering firms is assisting the city through this process of going from design to permitting to construction at the current time. As Councilman Bailey said, this evening from 5:30 to 7, we will be having a public community session here in council chambers to talk about the Jeffries Creek Sanitary Sewer Project Phase 1. CDM Smith, who's our engineer for the project, will also be here, and they have boards spread around so the community can come in and look at certain aspect of the project from a location perspective, and we'll be able to explain what's going on in each portion of those construction parts of this first phase of work along Jeffries Creek.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council.
All right, next we have city manager's report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. As you know, July 4th is fast approaching, and we have something to show you. What about sound?
Fireworks over Florence returns Saturday.
Can we pull up the video, please?
Y'all go work on that.
There we go.
Fireworks over Florence returns Saturday, July 4th at the Florence Soccer Complex. Hosted by the City of Florence and presented by MUSC Health. Parking opens at 4, gates at 5, and bring your lawn chairs and blankets so you can enjoy a full evening of family-friendly fun. Live entertainment, food vendors, and activities for all ages. Then get ready for the drone show and spectacular fireworks show lighting up the night sky. Celebrate Independence Day with friends, family, and neighbors. Fireworks over Florence, July 4th.
Victoria and her staffs worked very hard on the 4th of July event. Certainly hope to see you out there July 4th. Gates open at 4 at the soccer complex. We will have Captain America out there, so come on out. Other news, the U.S. News and World Report recently ranked the city of Florence as the 3rd best place to live in South Carolina for 26-27 year. That's the 2nd year in a row. We're very proud of that. Also, we've been working, you talked about all of our utility projects. We're working with a group, Capitol Hill Consulting Group. It's a bipartisan lobbying firm in Washington, D.C. They also have an arm called Capital Funding Solutions out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, that writes grants for us. And I wanted to give you a brief overview of some of the work that they're doing with us over the last year or so. With EPA, there's a Water Infrastructure Finance and Innovation Act, WIFIA grant. It's a $193 million grant for water and sewer. The City of Florence has been invited for a full application, to submit a full application there. So we've met the first round. We're in the next stages of that there. There's a SAFER grant, SAFER, SAFER grant, that through FEMA, that will allow us to fund additional 15 firemen. Firemen there, 15 additional firemen over a 3-year period. There, we're working through that process. PDRTA, we did submit a grant for an intermodal transportation center last year that was not selected. We will be submitting again and working with Don and his group. There, we received a $5 million congressional directed spending for the Pine Street groundwater treatment plant. We have an WRDA authorization for $40 million. That's through efforts of Congressman Fry with assistance from Senator Graham. That will allow us to pursue additional funds through U.S. Army Corps of Engineers this year. We've requested $10 million through Congressman Fry, and we secured $2.25 million appropriation bill, again for water and sewer, through Congressman Fry's office there. We have a $65 million authorization through Senator Graham, there, through the WRDA legislation there, Water Resources Development Act. Again, that's $65 million there. We were not selected for a $9.66 million grant that Senator Graham actually pushed through for us, although we are continuing to work through that. We do have $11.2 million congressionally directed spending through the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for water infrastructure improvements through Senator Graham's office there. I think that concludes my report. I will have this for all members of council in written form.
Scotty, did you mention the 193 million that we passed the first?
Yes, that was first.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Easton.
So, to date, you said that was within 1 year. What, the only thing we secured so far was the, 5 million? Was that the only thing we secured?
The 5 million and the 2.25.
And that's the only thing we secured thus far?
That's correct.
Within the whole year?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That concludes staff's report.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Scotty. Now we will have the mayor's report. I will say to all of you, your prayers, your love was felt during my time of bereavement. My family is so appreciative to you all, and we're just blessed to continue to move on and live and love each other. But my family wanted to say thank you to you all. Then I wanted to say, as I thought, I'm just going to add this in there. I was thinking about community and this council being so community driven, but also every department in the city of Florence. The police has in their budget a part for community. Everybody, fire, the trash pickup, they will, for those who are over age that can't get out to their trash, they will go and move the trash for them. Not only are we putting the monies there, but when we talk about recreation, we put a lot of money to our elderlies and those that are less fortunate. So not only do we have the monies that we said here, every department in the city of Florence puts forth an effort to care for our city, because we understand that we're all in this thing together. And so I want to thank staff as well for their efforts of their individual departments doing outreach to communities as well. I don't have anything else because I probably forgot something, but I'll catch it up next time. Next, we will go to committee reports, and we will have Business Development Committee.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Business Development Committee met on May 21, and we met out at the AESC Training Center, which was really a fascinating tour of that facility that we got. It is state-of-the-art times state-of-the-art. It was incredible what the capabilities are that are out there that they showed to us. And anybody that is interested to go take a tour of that place, please, by all means, they're very excited to be able to show off that wonderful facility. We talked about, while we were there, the meeting, which was attended by the mayor and myself, as well as Councilman McKay via phone. Scotty, Clint, and Michael were there. Thank you all so much for your help at the meeting. But we talked about Urban Square, which, as everybody sees, is under construction. They're starting on the second floor. That's very exciting. We've got 4 floors. Maybe they'll have all 4 finished by the time we have our next meeting in July. They're advertising for their office building, which is going to be coming up next. They're looking at a 4-story, 40,000 square foot office building to come there. We discussed the MUSC and McLeod water tank projects and where things are with that. That's very exciting development there that'll give sustainability for water pressure for both major medical facilities. The rail crossing elimination grant was discussed and where things are with the opportunities to get some funding to look at planning. And so that has great potential for us. SEDOT projects were discussed, the various interchanges and how when these DOT projects come along and they do road widening and the expense that the city bears for having to move pipes, and what can be done to work proactively with DOT so that we are not left holding that huge financial burden independent of them. So there was a conversation on that. There was general utility capital infrastructure update. We got an update on AESC, what's going on out there, the Florence East Industry Project. The GE groundwater treatment plant was discussed. That's coming online, and hopefully by the fall of 2026 we'll have that. Some of the other projects were discussed as well as federal funding updates. We also had received the water master plan, water quality master plan, and I think Amanda, you and Scotty will have an opportunity maybe to upload this as another document onto that SWIFT, the website you just described for us, so that this, the water distribution was talked about in depth on the other master plan, but this focusing primarily on the water quality piece. So if we can get this one uploaded as well, that would be very helpful. Thank you. Did I miss anything? Anything else anybody wants to add? That is our report. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much. Next, we will have the community development. And this community development is Councilman McCall, Councilman Smith, and myself. We discussed ways. We understand that in the city of Florence, there are nonprofit groups that are always asking how can they serve, how can they, and some have a 501c status, but they are not really connecting to efforts that could help the city. So we are talking about bringing all 501c3s, nonprofit, smaller groups together. So let's talk about what we are doing, possibly doing a directory of those things and seeing, because some people are doing the same thing. Some people are don't know how to connect. They may be able to serve, but don't know how to connect with the community. And so we want to come together to help them to serve the community. And so we're really, we talked about the smaller organization. Individuals have a desire to serve communities, but often lack connection, resources, and awareness needed to effectively reaching those in need. We also discussed the benefit of organizing, bringing together organizations, and agreed that increased collaboration could help create synergy among service providers. And so we're really, really excited about that. So look forward to that. In our building to get Florence Together, they just approved their $1.2 million budget this year. They are really growing and doing well. If you go down our Pine Street corridor, you'll see a lot of movement, a lot of homes that they have built, and we are really, really excited about that. Annie Brown came and gave us a report on the community development block grant projects, and they are moving forward in, things are just looking good. The home buyers workshop and neighborhood meetings, Jerry and his team are doing a really good job. The city has acquired 27 new properties with the goal of developing a new neighborhood. And so we're doing a lot, and we want to say thank you to our our staff that are hard at work and this council. That ends my report, and next we will have the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Finance Committee consists of me, Councilman Smith, and Councilman Brian Braddock. We met on Wednesday, May 27th of last month in preparation of this meeting here. And we only discussed a few things. Most of our discussion was based on contracts, so obviously it was in executive sessions. But one topic we did discuss was brought up by Councilman McKay and also Councilman Braddock about questions regarding the City of Florence procurement process and making sure we try to prioritize our local vendors if we have them available. We received a report from our procurement officer, Mr. Linwood Givens, and gave us kind of a robust discussion on some options we can possibly look at. And from there, we asked our CFO, Mr. Glenn Botenheimer. Did I mess it up, Glenn? Close enough? All right.
No, not even close.
So he's going to bring us back some suggestions of kind of what some other cities are doing in terms of other municipalities and prioritizing larger projects with local vendors, local contractors. And that concluded most of our meeting. Again, most of our meeting was in executive session due to it was a couple contracts that we were reviewing. And if I miss anything, Councilman Braddock, Councilman Smith, that will conclude the finance report.
Thank you. Now we will ready ourselves to enter into executive session to discuss the receipt of legal advice regarding a proposed contractual arrangement for the leased property as referenced in Bill number 2026-17. B, for discussion regarding appointments to boards, city boards and commissions. C, to receive legal advice regarding potential election changes. D, to receive an update regarding a project Urban Square.
So move.
Second.
We are, all those in favor of entering into executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are now in executive session. Do we need 5-minute break?